Okay, you wanna get started?
Sure,
All
go
right.
for it.
So first is Buddy's team. This is like classic Buddy where he's trolling and then undecisive about his team. And yeah, the end result seems to be barely a save. We still got Simister there as the number two overall pick. That's pathetic. And then pretty much a wet paper bag for defenses. I think that, he can probably scrape out some wins because he's a good coach, but there's a lot to dislike about this team. I think a C plus might be generous. Let's do D minus. Yeah.
Yeah, I this is by far the worst team on my ranks. It was not even close. Why is what on earth? I'm looking on the prep doc and for some reason Buddy's is kind of weirdly laid out with the lining. Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Doesn't matter. But yeah, no. This was by far the worst team in my opinion. I the semi seer I wouldn't even be bothered by seeing that you got because nobody wanted the Shifu because apparently 1 point more is not worth it. So I don't know, but so the Shifu round two was great and Mega Frostlass is going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be 17 points good, but we'll see. I have seen it do well in other leagues, but it requires really good really good timing for when it comes out. Um I think there's good hazard options, there's good removal. Like there's the pieces here he needs to win games, but the problem is I don't see this team consistently winning matches. I think there's a lot to exploit, especially on the defensive end. And yeah, you can get away with hyper offense in Hades. In Zeus, I don't think you're going to get away with it as much.
No, not at all. And I think Shifu's actually got some decent partners here with Aurora Veil, Mega Frostlass. I assume that gets Aurora Veil. If it doesn't, that's some cheeks. Let's see. This is my copy. Okay, Aurora Veil. Yes, okay. So it does do the thing. And you can Destiny Bond, you can spikes. It's pretty versatile. Um, the wet paper bag thing still applies, but there are just enough tools here, and the speed is just good enough to scrape by like 120, 115. You ignore that 100, 97, same thing, and then yeah, you just step down. Like that's pretty good. I think D minus is appropriate, but like Buddy's good enough to win some games. I'm gonna put his over under at like 4 games. Nah, 3 games.
Let me look at where his schedule came in as
Oh yeah,
well
yeah,
for
yeah. What does the schedule look
so
like?
his schedule difficulty, he got eighth out of everybody. So he got the eighth hardest schedule, which yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Um,
Yeah,
that is definitely a problem.
maybe
So
4 games. Ah, 3.5. We'll give that. Okay,
yeah, do
buddy.
3.5.
Okay, buddy. You you get 3.5. That should be some good motivation, and you get a D minus. All right. So, here's a palate cleanser. Um, I don't know actually. Now that I'm seeing it again, I don't know. Okay, you go ahead.
So I had this team 24th overall. What I liked about it was very good offensively. Even though the special attack is a little reliant on a couple mods, Mega Delphox good enough is so good that you could count it as two special attackers because it's just that good of a Pokemon. Um, Also with this team, it's really there's a lot of good bulk options. There were the biggest downsides to me if I'm looking at this. The speed tiers were not great outside of Megadel Fox, obviously. And yet there's not really a great trick room option here either because they're fast and they're a little too fast for trick room. I also wasn't thrilled with the just with how many overlaps of types he had, but that's okay because he covered pretty much every type. There's not a huge glaring weakness overall, so that was fine. Um, Also, Ad is going to be in Zeus. We've seen how that goes. It did not go nearly as well as when he is in Hades, so I'm a little nervous there. Um, I think there's pieces here to like, and that's why I put him around the middle of the pack at 24th. But I think there's a lot of drafts that are way better.
I think that's spot on. Like the whole Mega Delphox like support role is well covered by Shifu and Togekiss. It like struggles severely into dark types, just with the immunity and like okay, now you can pack an AV. But yeah, we'll downgrade that to a B. Looking at it more,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of like overlap on the physical side, like slow-ish physical attackers that need a little pivot, and there's not a lot of pivoting. While I think Tyrantrum is a great mon to you know take advantage of the strengths of this team. It's also pretty one-dimensional and not going to provide much beyond rocks or a dragon dance set. It is really
Mhm.
strong, like big old, massive, thick head smashes. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 5 on the O under. Like
Yeah.
I think that's
Ada
good.
Yeah, Ada has the 16th hardest schedule, so honestly for Zeus that's fairly easy. All things considered. I do think yeah, I think B minus is right around where I'd probably put it closer to B minus personally, but yeah, 5 wins B, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, you don't have to convince me on that. I think that's fair. And he'd probably say the same thing. Like, if he's gonna go above or at 5, then it's gonna be a hard Delphox carry. Shifu's also really strong here, but I think the versatility could maybe that's a hidden gem. Like, yeah, you said the speed, but we do have the Overquill rain slot. That might be decent with some Rotomo plus Shifu in the rain. I don't know. We'll give it a B minus, whatever. Okay. Cam's team. Cam's team's actually really good this time around, and I think he's back to his old ways of building pretty strong stuff. Top five's really good, and then the next four are all bringable. Especially, I really love Terra Mudsdale. Zarud I'm not crazy about, but in the right matchup and its base form without Terra, it's strong. And yeah, I think the Mega Floette support. Let's see. Yep, it's got 155 attack and a massive nuclear ability and move for fairy types. Yeah, it should be pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
Let me give it a B plus, and I put over under at a 5.5.
Yeah, so with this team here, I always like how Cam drafts. If you look back, Cam typically ends up in my top three of drafts. This time around, landed at 13, but that's because we have 40 coaches and everything was so tight. Um, my biggest takeaway is Terra Mudsdale's fine, but with some of the Terramons we had and how much stuff fell to the later rounds, I really dislike this. Now I'm a Zerud hater. I don't think Zerud's that good in draft when you Terra Zerud isn't legal. I kind of wish instead of Zerud he went for a 9 point high, like one of the top tier Terramons that was left, and then filled out the rest of the roster from there. I totally agree on that top five. That top five is fantastic. I do think when it comes like again, it's that back half of the roster that has me a little nervous about how helpful they're going to be, which then could put Cam in a spot where it's going to be very plug and play, where it's the same sets each week. Mons are kind of stuck in their role. Same Mons are coming, and it gets a little predictable building wise, and that's where I worry we see struggles with Cam because that's kind of what we've seen in recent seasons. Cam hasn't had that same ability to outbuild his opponents like he did in seasons past.
Right. Just a note here for those building into Cam, he does get edge quaked really hard plus toxic. So like any mon with I think it's pre Gen 8, that's a ground type or a rock type is going to do really well here. Not like I'm kind of trolling, but like not really. It's pretty bleak for him to have to face that every week because like most ground types are pre-gen 8, so should be interesting. I think it's a solid team. Speed tiers are really good. Um, Actually, wait, I don't know. I don't love Aerodactyl. Maybe they're not that good. Let's see. Yeah, they could be better. But yeah, still a strong team. Like speed's not everything. If you have like a really strong wall breaking core plus the booster speed option, Aerodactyl is a little bit fraudulent. I don't know why that's Terra Steel. Why would that be Terra Steel? Rock moves? Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so he has the 11th hardest schedule as well. How many wins you say?
I said 5.5 based on like I think Mega Floet's pretty busted
Yeah,
at the end.
I'd give 5. I give 5.5. That's fair. I think that's fair. And B plus. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a good team. I'm kind of liking it a lot less now that we keep talking about it. So let's move on before I give it a B. Um, okay, so here's our reigning champion. I don't want to be too hard on it because, like, on paper, this is really good. You got a Firewater Grass core. It's got all the speed. It's got boosting options beyond that, and I think the at least one of the Terramons is pretty strong. The only thing I'll say is that Bronzong's kind of a waste of a Terra slot. It's got good natural typing, and w- you're just not going to get much out of it. Like, I think the only thing you could really justify using a Terra on is if it's like a body press iron defense set with, you know, Terra fighting or some other like I guess going mono steel is good for gyro ball, but not big on that. Defensively seems pretty solid. It shouldn't be very passive. Like stuff you'll be pivoting from include Dragalge, um, Leaf Storm, uh, eject pack or whatever that one is for Arbalava. You got a lot of strong pivoting options, Coco, Sneasler. So I'm liking it. I'll give it a B
Yeah, and
actually.
you ain't got the turn on Vaporeon. Honestly, I typically am critical of the Lindsay drafts, but this one ended up getting second on my list. A lot of this I love. Now schedule is going to be brutal. Absolutely, the offense this team has, having that Coco option, with the Sneasler and everything, just having that support. I think Mega Excadrill is going to get slept on by a lot of coaches, and that thing gets up one rapid spin, it's gonna just start firing off nukes of attacks and outspeed a ton of shit. So I think that's gonna be something people need to watch out for. Because I don't think Mega Extra Drill is nearly as respected as some of the other new megas, just because people see it and like, okay, sure, it's Excadrill, I guess. But I also don't rule out Lindsay being really good with a ground steel type, seeing that we Lindsay is used to bring the iron treads, so it feels like like a new mon, yet still a comfort pick, just based off the typing and the role it kind of wants to have. I do see some lack in that physical defense stat, where Bronzong screens are going to be essential a lot of games. Which, if you're bringing Bronzong to a ton of games and you have so many other good mons on the roster, it's a little concerning. But I do think this team has the potential to really light up some, like even in Zeus, light up some coaches. So I'm curious to see how it goes.
Totally agree there. I see the Vaporeon doing a really good job wish passing, and they do have like a decently enough, bulky core. Like Dragalge would really appreciate that wish. Um, Same with Arcanine and Arbalava. This does have shades of Eli's team last season with three matching mons that will be prominently featured. Um, and I think Coco is gonna surprise us. It's been waiting a while to pop off, and this could be the season for it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Removal looks pretty solid. Like, yeah, you're gonna bring Drill most weeks. Defog isn't really real on Coco as much, and then Drift Blim is like more of a spin blocker than anything. Um, I think let's see. Yeah, it's got good stealth rockers. Those are both bringable. Toxic spikes are real. Yeah, this is solid. A lot of good pivoting moves. As far as over under, I'm gonna
So
say
this
they struggle in this. I think it's gonna be 4.
Right. So that I like personally, this draft is A minus for me. But when it comes to the actual games, Lindsay is going from Hades to fifth hardest schedule in the league, I think, and so that is a tough ask for any coach. So yeah, I would not be surprised if it was a bit of a step back for Lindsay this season, just because of how big of a shift it's going to be in competition. But again, I think it's a solid team. And if Lindsay can play like she did in finals last season, then she'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's see. Wall breaking. Wall breaking is real with drill. Yeah, I think it's a solid team. There's not much to hate on. It's like just going to be competitive with everything else. Okay, so we're getting into the Germans now. We got Tobias. Um, I didn't think I liked it at first, but it's like the inverse of Leo's team last season, where I didn't like it at first, and then I continued to not like it, and he also didn't like it towards the end. Um, I'm a big Tornadus T guy. Think it's really versatile and a good foundation for any any building. The flying weakness is there, but I'm not saying that's super real. There's not a lot of flying types prominent, um, and you have one of them that would be, but might want to get a real steel type. Not that Mega Caesar can't take a hit, but something needs to give there. Maybe change the Terra. I guess Palmot could resist that, and then Golduck has it too. But yeah, I think this is a solid team up and down. The rain is going to loom over everybody's team builder every week. Just thinking about, okay, is Golduck going to come with Swift Swim, Life Orb, Terra Water? Like it's just a cheap, easy mode. And then same with Hurricane, Bleak Wind on Tornadus, rain reducing Mega Caesar or powering up Dracovish. And then you'd have to play the game of are they bringing it or are they not? The support mons, Nita Queen, really solid. I think for a Giraffe is also very competent secondary Terra Captain, and Palmot is a new one, if I'm correct. So lots of unique stuff going on here on behalf of Tobias. Um, Superior. While the speed is impressive, it's going to play more of a glare support role. Contrary is real, but yeah, I like it a lot. I think he's going to perform well, and if not, we'll just pretend this conversation didn't happen and laugh at him. So A minus, and then we'll put the O under at give 5 points. Yeah, 5.
It's fair. I did not rate this team very highly, and I I can see the vision, and I definitely think the rain is going to be a viable option. There's just something feels lacking to me. I don't know if it's the lack of a actual fairy type, if like you said, or get a real steel type. But the defenses are not looking great. And I don't know. I worry that yeah, there's a ton of pivot options, but you're gonna run out of things to pivot into because you're gonna take hit after hit after hit, and I don't know if this team has the ability to do that, and that's what I worry about most with it. Add that onto the fact that Tobias is the fourth hardest schedule, and I have some concern. Again, I can see the vision, but this is one where I have to see the games happen before I can really give it its flowers.
So I think the A minus might be a bit of a troll based on that for the community rankings. If anybody's in chat right now, could you comment on what this deserves? I think A minus might be a bit generous.
Yeah, because personally, I would put it at best C, but that's me. I might be a bit hard on it.
Okay,
Um,
Tobias is saying S plus plus. Hmm, don't know
Shocking.
about no, don't know about
Buddy
that.
says B.
B.
Buddy says B.
Okay, we're gonna do 616 as the ranking. How about that? And then over under 5 because I think he's one of the better players, if not top
Side
5.
B's at a B as well. So
That's good. Okay, now we have Leo. This is projected to be a bounce back season for Leo. Looks like he drafted a real team this time. The strengths are obvious. Does it get edge quaked? Not really. Um, yeah, the top three is really solid. Even if you know Mega Meganium's coming, poison moves are pretty obvious in distribution. Um, and he's got some tools for that, inclusive of Terra Poison Umbreon, which I think is a very underrated Terra choice. Defensive Terra captains that can't be poisoned, bulky. With Nat decks, it can run Curse. There's a calm mindset in there. So if you forget that it's a really strong bulky mon, you might get punished severely. Even got a late round Blastoise, one of the best spinners in the game. Hazards could be a bit better because I'm thinking at least you want spikes. I think removal's solid there. Speed tiers, it's real, very good speed tiers actually. If you're going based on like, I have to creep this, I have to creep this. Zero Ore is one of my favorite um, second round picks in ODC. It's pretty impressive. It's got like 3 different ways to boost, 3, and yeah, it's a solid team. I think this might deserve a A actually.
yeah, I'd be at an A minus. So this team got 10th on my list. I think it's a really good bounce back team for Leo, like you said. You give Leo Melmetal or Spectre, and there's going to be Chaos 2 and 2. He got one of those two, so that's great for him. Like you said, Zera Aura is really good. I didn't really rate the Terramons highly, but you make a really good argument for the Terra Umbreon with the poison and being able to avoid being toxic. I did like the hazards, although spikes, like you said, would be nice. The nice thing for Leo is he falls to ninth hardest schedule, which doesn't sound easy, but when you consider, that there's 20 teams and Zeus kind of being right in that middle of the pack is really, really good if Leo's looking to have a bounce back. So bump up his over under to like a 6.5 personally.
Okay, I think that's reasonable. One more thing on the Terra Captain. I think Tauros Paldea. Okay, it's only the fighting type. Never mind. No, it's still pretty cool though. It's got some good abilities. Cudchew is that's a grass resist, and yeah, there's Hill Bell on two of his other Terra Captains to keep Melmetal healthy. Yeah, really cool team. I think he's got some work ahead of him to make up ground from last season, but it should be fun. You even got a Z captain that's actually kind of fast, so pretty neat. There's some Leo love. He gets shit on a lot by his contemporary German folks. So here's A12. I put this at a D. Um, it he's a great player. We know that. He's like probably the best player this league's ever seen. In terms of just like mind for the game. His drafting after he gets his three shitters is normally pretty good, and he actually got a good draw this time. Terra Ente seems pretty solid. And then I think a pretty competent back half of the draft saves this. Speed tiers are kind of all over the place, and Mega Manetric is a total shitter, but um, really weird team. It's going to win him some games. So I'm actually going to put his O under at 7, but it is in anybody else's hands really hard to pilot. And who would the kill leader be? Hmm,
I think it could be Terra Ente,
Entei? Okay. Your pick is
but
Entei. My pick is Hydreigon.
fair.
Yeah, he's actually like I watch his YouTube videos sometimes, and I think he's used Hydreigon quite a bit to success. So, I mean, what any other thoughts? It's not good.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say about this team. It does not look good on paper, but this is I've been blindsided by the A12 teams of past, and I'm not falling for it again because I actually think this team on paper is much better than some of the other crap teams he's had in the past that he's piloted to success. I think there is a lot more here. The random wheel giving him Annihilate was huge because that mon is not falling to him if the wheel doesn't pick it for him. Terra Entei is going to be one of the best Terramons in the league this season. He gets the Slowbro, which we know is so reliable for A12. So while while Slowbro is good, you can bump slow when A12 has it. That thing is worth 20 points, because of how good he is with it. Hydreigon, like you said, he has some familiarity with it. The Mega Mall again, I think his kind of lost value in draft, but A12 will get the most out of it. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't like this team, but because I've seen what A12 can do with arguably worse teams, I think this team's actually really solid because I can see the vision this time.
Yeah, I think the sequencing is going to be really pivotal with Slowbro. He's shown some good performances with that line and the regenerator. Um, does he have a trick room mode? Let's see. Yes, of course he does with Slowbro. To anything else pop out? Not really, but like you don't need much. You got one amazing abuser, and then I guess Muck there
It's
is there
got
too.
Mawile as well.
Yeah, the
Oh
Mega
wow.
Mall.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, that the the most obvious one. Yeah, Mega Mall is pretty nasty. Okay, cool stuff. Weakness policy, trick room, and then Slowpoke cleans games. Cool. Um, Clin. So this one's weird. Uh, I think the anti synergy between the first two was obvious. Um, but like overall, it's a solid build. I think Shaman is elite. Um, they played today, right? They
Did Quinn
lost.
play?
They lost.
I think so.
Okay, that doesn't matter for the rankings. I don't like any mon past 5 at all, and yes, like they can all perform certain roles, like Gudra can hold an assault vest, knock off stuff, and just generally like be a tank. And Regilucky does dual screens, explosion, rapid spin, pivot with electric moves on non-ground teams. Salazzle's actually Salazzle. Maybe I like this more.
The
Okay.
problem I have is that Gudra and Salazzle both feel like they're supposed to be Terramons in this league,
Yeah.
and you put them on a team with that already has Terra Shaman, and so their role significantly decreases on this roster. I do think Megalop is going to be a monster now that it gets Swords Dance. So that is something that teams need to watch out for because if you let that thing set up, it is just going to blow through your whole team if it wasn't already. Yeah, like you said, the Tapu Lele is really the thing that holds this team back for me outside of like those last three picks as well, and the Mons we had already talked about. But it has the firepower there, so we'll see how it goes. It is in Zeus this time. Clint has like seventh hardest schedule, so I don't see a lot of wins coming out of this team, unfortunately. But I do think there's potential there to see some good games out of Clint at least.
Oh yeah. I mean the firepower is really solid, like you said. Like speed. Maybe I like this team a lot more than I think. It'd be fun to pilot. I'll give it a B. Over under, I'll give them a 3.5. I don't think
Yeah, that's
they
fair.
were that strong of a coach. Low key, no offense, maybe some offense, but Tara Shaman's really good, and they played well today. So 3.5 is probably appropriate for Zeus, depending on the schedule. Um, Minior, actually like that guy too. Shell Smash, like you kind of have to at least make the opponent think about bringing a Mirror Herb or some sort of phasing into it. It's not super strong even when it gets shields down, but um, yeah, man, this team looks pretty fun actually. Okay, moving on. We got Gordon. That was a troll. I do like your team though. Megastar Raptor is way better than people are saying. Like they're saying it's like dog shit, it's trash, it's this, that, and the other. Um, it is really easy to play within mocks. Like I played Joe earlier, and while it wasn't like the win con, like just the pressure it brings to prep, then how hard it hits, its typing is good. You can't intimidate it, and it can boost its defenses, toxic things. It's just a solid mon. People need to respect its name. And then obviously like the rest of the roster, solid tried and true mons. Bolt, Iron Treads, high base stat totals itself. Sleeper, one of the most broken things that's ever been able to Terra. You've got Nine Tails with some disruption, Aurora Veil, Freeze Dry, and then Volcarona. This is kind of where it gets a little weird, Gordon. Not gonna lie. I think Volcarona is a good mon. In draft, it's a little awkward, but as a sixth mon, like that's really tough to prep for, and I think you did a good job, um, including that in the back half of the draft, and it should be pretty good as long as you can keep hazards off the field. Speaking of hazards, you have one of the best removers in Iron Treads, and I don't think it really is scared of ghost types that much. So big knock guy. Yeah, I'm really a big fan of this team. I legitimately think it deserves an A. A plus might be a little gratuitous, and I'll give you over under of 4, and that's not meant to be like a you suck. It's
Listen,
meant to
I'll
be
take a
yeah.
two. I'll take a two in Zeus. You kidding?
Okay. Okay.
Uh, let me make this clear. My first thing was okay. I need one of Mega Raptor, Mega Fox, if either fall to me because I've been watching other singles leagues closely, and those two mons both have the ability to quickly snowball and change games at the last minute. Even when it looks like a team is about to lose, like 5-0, that mon comes out on the field and completely changes the game for a 1 or 2-0 victory. So that was essential. I needed something that could turn the tide, even if I was in bad position, because I feel like I'm going to end up in bad position in Zeus. On that same note, that's kind of why Ditto's here. I knew I could find myself in troublesome spots, so Ditto kind of forces my opponents to have to play slightly safer in the setup game, which, again, anything to make my life a little easier here is kind of the plan. Terra Azelf should not have been allowed, and I cannot believe it slipped through the cracks and even to me in the fourth round, even though I drafted early fourth round, because that thing is crazy. The Alolan Ninetales comfort pick. Eldegoss, while it won't show up to many games, it will be essential in at least one, like it was last season. Go ask Lai how that went. Toxapex is there for support. Spiritomb and Archon are kind of just shitters to maybe show up to one game for fun. We'll see. But overall, I don't think the team's perfect, but I think some of these mons deserve a little more credit than people are giving them.
I guess if I was going to comment one more time on this team, beyond what you know already, the speed could be a little stronger. Now you do have like great priority with Raging Bolt, then tons of boosting options. Man, I think this would be really fun to pilot, and yeah, I'm very confident in this Gordon look, and it people are so rude about Megastar after that thing's good. I don't know what the hate is all about. I like it. Okay, this is the side B team. If those in Hades season 3 might remember, but top 3, I think he had Kilowattrel and Savali, or maybe it was Type Null and Levani. Wow, did he just like straight up copy somebody's homework? All that aside, I think it's a pretty bang on average team. It's good. You've got good speed tiers. I think Mega Glade's probably like a top 3 mon in that deck's draft. Shoot me. Um, it's a little uninspiring down the charts though, but like these two are great partners. Um, Flygon is a guy. I like him. I don't know. Bad removal. Very bad removal. Hmm. Fake speed. Bad removal. It's got a very obvious sticky web moment. Yeah, I got to give this a C minus. Yeah. Um, I thought I liked it more than I did, but it's got some great
So
mons. Yeah.
yeah. So I put this team at 27th on my rankings. Not probably I think 616 comes in with the easiest schedule in Zeus, seeing that he was ranked lowest in Zeus, so it makes sense. So if he's gonna be able to get so that's some wins that he could steal there. Just based off schedule and some of the other people that got promoted in Zeus being a little easier than your typical Zeus players, seeing that we did expand. You add on the Mega Glade, which literally is one of our best mons in league history. I think it ranks second or third. So that's huge, especially against the players here they who do not know how to play against it. Apparently, Patch is great. Chiyu can do good things. It creates so much pressure in team building. I cannot tell you how many calcs I've run where I'm like, oh, okay, everything just dies to Chiyu. Great. I don't know what I'm doing this week. The Terras are fine. Kilowattrel is good. I don't know. I kind of wish there was a little more there. The team feels really solid in that top three, and then when it gets to Primarina, Flygon, Kilowattrel, it's like I wish there was one more solid pick before Primarina to just kind of boost this team that little bit more. Personally,
Yeah, it's very it sounds strange to say, but it's weak. Um, you have two blockbusters, right? Two blockbuster wall breakers, but I think there's going to have to be some heavy loads, heavy loads carried by Flygon. Kilowattrel is low key not very good, and then Savali is just a joke. Man, I really don't like this team. I want to go over under 2.5. I think 616 is gonna struggle, but it's a good team though. Like okay, let's say Sticky Webs works out 3 times. Give him an over under 3. Cool.
yeah. Yeah, I'd say three because he's also going to play one of the lower ranked Hades teams, so that hopefully should be a win. So that's one. You're going to get, he should play Bodo, myself, Ada, who all got promoted. So he should be able to find at least one, if not two wins there. So yeah, I think three's fair.
And Petrarunk can just win a game if the opponent stacks the wrong mon. Okay,
But
Fungal. This is fun. Speed tiers meh, but otherwise like this is really stupid. Regenerator, Trick Room combos. Very interesting Terror Captain. Got Guts Facade, and how fast is that thing? Oh, that's pretty fast, so you can't do Trick Room. But Guts Facade Terra Normal should be really cool. Always love Mammoth Swine plus Zapdos. I think that's a cool combo. Just because, like, hit a close combat, get paralyzed, boo-hoo. Cofagrigus is a very good secondary Terra Captain, although I would have preferred Magneton. Just because I think Magneton plus A little bit of coverage can do some work with EV Light or another item, but Mega Gouge should be really cool. What does this thing got? 132, pretty good base stat total. Um, Not gonna really put a ton of stock into it, like saying it's gonna be like a kill leader, but Iron Valiant's one of the most versatile mons in the game, best mon in draft in my opinion, and yeah, solid team. I did not rate this contemporaneously, but we'll give it a what am I gonna give it? It's got a lot of holes, a lot of
Yeah,
holes.
so
Bad
while you
removal.
think on what you want to give it, I can kind of go over my thoughts
Yeah.
if you want. So I had this 14th. Fungal's coming in. Doesn't have the hardest to schedule since he hasn't been here. And hasn't, it's been a minute since he's played. Um, but the nice thing about this team is I would not like this team for a less experienced player. This team feels like a team where everybody goes, oh, these mons are really good. Regenerator. Okay, great. This is what I'm supposed to do in draft. And then it underperforms, and you sit there and go, what went wrong? I had all the right mons on the roster. However, knowing how Fungal plays, knowing the kind of coach he is, this roster feels perfect for him. So I'm a little nervous for other teams trying to break through this team, and then you have some great breakers in the Iron Valiant and the Obstagoon. I wish there was one more offensive mon that could come in here, honestly, but this team's just gonna wear you down, and people are sleeping on Mega Dragalge. I said it in my breakdown, but 15 points I genuinely think is criminally low for the amount of bulk and firepower that thing offers you. It is going to be one of the most disgusting megas that we see this season, and do not be surprised when we promote it to 16 or even 17 points next season.
All fair. So in rating, you seem to be pretty high on this team. I give it a C plus. What's your disposition?
Uh, See, I would be any other coach. I could see it in a C. For Fungal and knowing his playstyle and seeing what he's run in the past, I think this is the perfect team for him. I'm fine not going all the way up to A because there are holes, but based off the coach it's with, I'd give it a B plus personally.
All right. And then you think they're very capable. I gave them over under 4. I think that's appropriate, but I can go to 4.5. You think that's okay?
I think 4.5 is low, but I will take that's fine.
Okay. Okay. We're setting lines here. Honestly, if someone was able to get like 75%, I'll send them of the over unders. I'll send them $20. Okay. Next is Pickley. This was he was beating himself up in the chat. He might be LARPing, but I think this is a really solid team. Um, Up and down. Besides, yeah, up and down. Really like it. Great speed tiers. Without Wug Trio Raikou accounted for. Actually, I think Wug Trio as a Z captain is kind of real. Wall breaking's excellent. Damn. Okay, I see some problems, but like, fun team. I'm gonna give it a side B. It's a side B, and I think if he's not psyched out by the goat, I think he's gonna get 6 wins. How about that? How about that? 6 wins for you, Pickley. What you got, Gordon?
So Pickley, I had 23rd. Listen, the vibes are off, and it might be because of all the 616 mons, and then on who won one game last season, and then you add on the Raikou, which has never ever had a good rep in ODC. It has never performed. Even on teams that have done well, it has been riding coattails. So the vibes are all off. I love Tinglu. I love Dragapult. Those are great mons. The Terracon Kelder, as you guys saw in the primer game, is a monster. So there's the pieces here, and Pickley's a great coach, but I do worry about this team overall. I'd probably go a solid C. For the vibes, and over under, I probably would go 5.5 just because Pickley has the second hardest schedule now in the league, so that's gonna be a bit of a boost from where he was last season.
Right. I think he's a very talented coach, of course, and the Conkelder is what's keeping this 6-1-6 together. Um, And yeah, Raikou really is a locker room cancer. We're gonna have to. He's probably gonna have to trade it at some point, maybe to like a salary dump. Man, really low vibes. Maybe a side B minus. Okay, moving on to Alec. Um, yeah, this is the best team in the division. I think watching them play was really cool. I think the Spectre Iron Hands combo is really innovative and special. So I'm really liking everything up till maybe Sandaconda, and then this is just filler. Um, Low key though, good Terra captains. Um, Mesprit and Delphox, while they're both psychic types, share different roles. Delphox is somewhat fast, and Mesprit is a jack of all trades, can set screens, healing wish, and then it's got its obligatory multifaceted move set. Mega Skarmory was a super, super duper choice there. And yeah, I got the tried and true Samurott to take advantage of some hazards. So really solid team. I'm gonna give this an A plus, and I mean it. I think that's really intelligent drafting on behalf of Alec, and I think he's going to be the player to beat this season in Zeus. Besides one important guy later on.
Maybe two.
Yeah.
But yeah. But here's the thing with Alec. And this team I liked off the bat, gave it 15. Offense great. Defense, like many teams this season, seems to be where there's a couple more question marks, but it's not impossible. I actually like the Terra Sandaconda. I've been a big Sandaconda fan for a while. I actually love the Z Gradient. Don't like I could see it being useful at least 1 or 2 games. The top three are all solid. Actually, the top four are all solid. Um, there's a couple things though I noticed like just I feel like this team there's more that this team could be than it is. Like a really good fairy type is going to give this team trouble
Your sheets
outside.
have blown over.
What? Anyway, I feel like this. I genuinely think this team could struggle with a really good fairy type. And then the other thing I worry about with Alec is last season he played. We saw he started off really strong, and then down the stretch things started to unravel a little bit. So I'm curious to see how well he does with the endurance that this gauntlet that is Zeus this season will go for him.
Okay, so I'm giving him an A plus. I think he's got the best team in the division besides one person, and I'm gonna give their over under. How many games do we play? 9.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him a
we play
7.
9.
I'm gonna give him a 7. I think you have a good point there about falling off later in the season, wanting to experiment. I don't think the team is legitimately good enough to go perfect. There's some flaws here that I don't want to say on stream because I want to protect this 7. Um, and I did really enjoy using this Spectre Iron Hands combo last season. It's really hard to prep into. Iron Hands in particular gets great sets. Belly Drum Swords Dance, Booster Energy Choice Band, Assault Vest, Fake Out Normal Gym, just a bunch of stupid stuff. Fit Facade after that. How about that? Mess Spirit supporting is great, and the Mega Skarmory is just a dog. It is so funny to see that thing flip superb defenses into a quite usable offensive stat. Pheasantipity is a weird guy, but Ogre Pond's super ugly. Can't really defend that one. Okay, moving on. I man, Ogre Pond
Yeah,
sucks.
just to be clear, Alec won 6 games last season, so he's going to need a monster season to reach your 7. But I'm fully supporting your confidence here.
Love it. Um, okay, now that was the other mod, one of the other mods, Eli. Um, this totally looks like an Eli team. In the fact that he picks his favorites. He knew what he wanted at the gate. I like the top 3. Someone's gonna say A12 is gonna say this in the chat where Landorus is a little blah 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 blah, a little expensive. I get it. I think it fits well here. Um, he's got a pretty type sharp, and I was actually trying to help him team build and get rid of Mega for Alligator, but I just couldn't. I think Mega for Alligator actually fits really nicely. The Terramons are just strange. Um, Admittedly, the speed tier of Monkey Dory is not real, let's say, but at the same time, like it is for what this league has in a vacuum. It's good. It's got a solid toxic chain plus U-turn shenanigans going on, and then um, it's strong. So I'm gonna give this a B plus.
Fair. I gave Eli a 12th on my ranks, so I I want to like it more than I do, and I'm 12th is still I like it a lot, but it's something with the vibes of just that top four. It feels like it's not gonna be enough in certain cases. I do see what you're saying with the mega for alligator, but I worry that there's games where it's gonna sit on the bench. I mentioned this in my PRs as well. I kind of wanted Eli, if any coach is going to draft two megas, to draft two megas here because I don't think Mega for Alligator is going to come to every match. There's some weaknesses, some type matchups and things it's not going to want to show up to with Greninja, Celesteela, and Lando. If a team's facing a really good electric type or a mon that gets freeze dry, you could run into some issues there. So it could be sitting on the bench, and so it would be nice to see another mon that had that mega potential here on this roster. But overall, I still think it feels like a team Eli's going to be comfortable with. And I know when Eli's comfortable, he does well in the league. So
I think this definitely looks like Eli's team. Serena's like kind of weird, right? Like you have mono grass and with no Terra. I think that definitely could have used the Terra. Wait, no, it's at 10. Never mind. Um, yeah, it's really solid. Someone said 14-point Rotom Heat in the chat. Yeah, it's a little expensive, but fits really well here.
it also just gets
Yeah,
drafted every single season, so that's your fault.
yeah, true. It is prohibitively expensive because of the usage rates, but yeah, love his team. All right, side B's team. This is really strong. I think the first showing was an indicative of how well it's going to do all season. Despite the restrictions we'd have put on Cure and Black, one of the best mons in the league, just needs a little time to shine. And then the rest of the roster is ridiculously good. I think Bodo pulled that win out of his hat. May have had a little bit of help there. Prep, and also Bodo has a really strong team this season. But I'm really enjoying like what I saw from this team in terms of the team sheet. Yeah, there's some holes, but yeah, it looks really solid. I'm gonna give this A minus. How about that? I'm gonna go run to the bathroom real quick.
So yeah, while Stunt's there, let me pull up Side B's team. I was just pulling up Rotom Heat stats for those in the chat. But anyway, this team, when I ranked this, let's see, where did I put it? Not that, because I cannot recall all my PRs off the top of my head. There's 40 teams, it's too much. Side B ranked third. Okay, right. So first of all, the Kieran Black Glow King pairing is great. And it's fantastic. And then you add on the fact that somehow he also gets Great Tusk. Oh, and he gets Terra Alakazam. And now we got an issue. Those four Mons should not all be allowed to be on the same roster at the same time, and somehow they are. While the team is lacking in some defensive aspects, you have screens with Klefki. Again, the Slow King's going to set up that snow for Kieran Black to get the defenses up. The speed could be better, but that's why you draft webs. It's there. And when you have to prep for all this, you have to make sure you have the knockoff for the Porygon 2, right? You have to have all these things in place. And the problem with that is now you're prepping for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 Mons or whatever it is. I know, haha, chat, I said the funny numbers. Mega Sharpedo's still there. Mega Sharpedo is still there to make a mess with speed boost and then just pick up kills. So that is really where we could see some issues. Is teams forgetting or not prepping enough for Mega Sharpedo. Not checking, hey, do I outspeed? Do I live in attack here? Because you're calcing for so many other mons that Mega Sharpedo comes in at the end of a game and just cleans up whatever you have left of a team. So I actually think that mon could be super underrated and end up being a huge factor for side B if he can see the value in it. But I get not wanting to bring it, seeing how many other solid mons you have. It really just feels like this team should not have been allowed to pick up as much as it did. Now, this team, I get you have levitate on Vikavolt, and I get that. Not having a flying type concerns me because you don't want to bring Vikavolt every single week, most likely. I know webs are good and everything, but there's so many mons on this roster that you do want to bring. And Earthquake spam could be good. You also have Miss Magius with Levitate, but I've seen that thing get drafted time and time again and then just get left on the bench. So I'm not even considering that a real mon right now. Not that it's not good. It doesn't seem to get the respect in this league when people have it, myself included. It just never felt like it was doing enough for my teams. So I do worry about Earthquake spam against this team. But overall, that those top mons feel very, very, very solid. And hopefully, after all my rambling is done, Stunt will return at some point. But side B also has the 10th hardest schedule, so not top 8, but not easy either. So we shall see how it goes.
Yep,
Let's
I
see.
think this is definitely like one of the scarier teams to prep against. Like I see two forms of distinct speed control. You have your Trick Room Porygon 2, you got your Sticky Webs Vikavolt, you got some dummy little shellfish doing shell smash with Z moves. That's kind of fun. Even with weak armor, that's kind of cool. Weak armor, focus sash, shell smash plus Z move. Wait, you can't do that. Never mind. I'm cooking too hard. Alakazam's really solid in this format with the Magic Guard plus Terra. I think it probably could have used Terra Fighting. It's a tough decision. But yeah, nothing more needs to be said. Kieran Black plus Slow King is solid enough, and then you have probably the top 5 draft mon in Dre Tusk. Yeah, it's really good. Klefki's got screen spikes, does a little bit of everything. Foul play defog. Just one of the guys. I think Porygon 2 is really solid inside B's hands, and then yeah, the big pedo Sharpedo is here to stay. Okay, giving that an A plus, and then I think I'll take into consideration his time off. I'll give him over under of 4, despite how good the team is.
By the way, side B, at trade deadline, please don't trade Sharpedo to like 100 teams. He's already been through enough.
Yeah,
No
that's
promises.
tough look. Tough look.
No
Let's.
season 4.
What is his over under, Gordon?
So for me, yeah, his schedule is 10th hardest, so I think 4 is fair. Especially with him being off for a little bit. I, it really depends. Do we see side B of old, or do we see that side B is old? So that is the question.
Speaking of old, we got a season 0 classic here with Jonas. This was like one of the most uninspiring teams I've seen, despite how good it is. Looking at this, I think this is like a flawless draft for someone that wants to win at least 4 games. I don't see it going very far in playoffs due to the speed restrictions on Cornerstone, Gardevoir, and then just like the general defensive profile of the team. I've seen like the water type plus Corviknight plus Clodsire core do really well, but it is extremely passive. You have to have like some big bads to pivot into with those mons. Um, and yes, Roaring Moon's solid. So is Gardevoir. Maybe this is good. Maybe I just don't like the color combination. Okay, I'll give it
No,
a
I'm
B.
I'm with you that it's not great. Roaring Moon benefits strongly from having like 2 other partners that are just gonna wreck shit. And Mega Guard is one, and Cornerstone can be one. We shall see. We've seen teams do great with it. We've seen teams do nothing with it. I am going to say if you are drafting Talonflame and you're is not a Terra captain, it is a waste of a draft choice. Sorry, not sorry. That Mon needs Terra to be elite in this league, and I get it. You do not draft Jolteon and then not give it Terra, but that rule should also apply to Talonflame. If you're drafting it, it should be with the intent to Terra, or else it kind of feels like a waste of roster spot. This team definitely, when you said doesn't have enough to get over the edge, like it's passive. That's kind of where I was, where he's gonna come up short in a couple battles where it's like Mons are gonna live on like 10% or whatever, living in the red, and it's gonna lose in battles, and that's my biggest concern with this team is that it's just a little too passive, and that teams in Zeus are experienced enough to figure out how to play around it.
Right. I think taunt just sets this guy on fire. Um, it like yes, you will halt most players with Corviknight, Milotic, and Clodsire. But you can just okay, now I just have to build my mons to beat all three of them, and you're golden. I know that sounds like way easier than application, but and of course with like Roaring Moon staring you down, Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir is actually really solid. Like put that thing in the lead slot, and you're probably trading at worst most of the time if they don't have like a steel or sidekick leading off. Really like that thing. Cornerstone. Again, my affection for that thing runs deep, but I'm gonna have to give this a C plus. Put their over under. I don't think they were very good last season.
No, I'd
But
say 3.5.
okay, I'm gonna leave it at a 3. Hopefully this
Kind
person
of.
uses it as motivation to do better. But this is a solid team. Like the right player. Like okay, let's say A12 pilots this. Great team. I think he'd win a lot of games. Um, Myself piloting it, I think I'd get frustrated at the lack of options physically, especially just lack of options for offense. But yeah, whatever. Moving on. We have
This team we can blame Buddy for.
yeah, this is the top guy. Axertix is really cooking here. I don't know how he got such a wonderful draft, but I really like it. So obviously we have Turtle, Darkrai, um, Scizor, Malola is his like bread and butter for pivot spam. That's kind of what he's been known for throughout the league, and his history here. Does Latias get flip turn? No, it doesn't. Does he get any pivot move besides Draco Meteor or Jetpack? I don't think so. Um, yeah, low key.
Oh, but you mentioning that. Sorry, I just remembered. I don't think it shows the new megas, if they get certain moves. I don't know if they're appearing quite right on the prep
Oh,
doc.
okay,
So
okay.
that is something that we need to know and look into. I just remembered that because I think when we were looking at my Mega Raptor, I did not see it have U turn, even though Staraptor does have U turn. So like that is something we have to look into.
Yeah. Otherwise, like I don't really see what Latias is doing here on the team. I think he's kind of out of place. Although it's great value at what is it, 11? Little low, little low. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Gligar, Electrode, Lapras, Blossom. That's like the Avengers of a kindergarten. Not gonna lie, it's just dog shit. But um, at least Lapras has some applications. Very good water absorb mon for your flip turners, and if it had Terra, it could definitely stop Ogre Pond Wellspring at some point. But it doesn't, and now you just have a Z move for this little Loch Ness monster. But yeah, this is like the perfect bait team for me. You got the two goats, bam, bam, and I don't really care about the rest. I'm gonna give him an A plus, and he is also probably the best coach in the league besides um, a certain 3 character guy. So I'm gonna give it A plus, and over under is 8 because I want to jinx him a little bit. Love this guy.
That's
All right,
fair.
go ahead.
I give him an over under of 9 just because he went undefeated last season. So
The
like
the
keep the pressure
goat,
up.
the goat.
Yeah.
Love it.
But yeah, no, Latias is perpetual crap mon. That mon is right up here with Raikou for one of the worst mons in the league. Literally we pulled the stats. I think it actually underperformed even Raikou, so that's saying something. So I know it was cheap, and so for a cheap mon, that's great. But if it's a cheap mon that does nothing for your team, then you know, who cares? Um, but Buddy helped this team huge by letting Axertix get the Mola back. Team's going to be disgusting. Megazord X is going to be disgusting, as we saw with Pickley in playoff. It was Pickley in playoffs, I believe, who had it right.
Yeah, yeah.
So Yeah, I put this team at 6 just because there were some holes. No poison type, no ghost type, no fairy type. All those typings, you kind of want to have solid lockdown in draft. But if any coach can play around not having those types, I mean, we're looking at them. So
Yeah, if we're gonna slander it a little bit more, it's got really bad speed tiers. I don't think Latias has real 110 speed. And then your next fastest guy that it's not item locked is Tarappa goes to 85. Although item locked is a close characterization of what that mon does with boots and power gem, or was it power gem, power herb, power herb. Yeah, this type chart looks really shitty, and I think that might be an extension of like his terrible back half. Um, really like Hariyama. I see where Latios Zard could come. So we're not going to penalize it too much. Yeah, I want to stop saying stuff because I don't want to ruin the vibes. I think that's a real A plus, and I like it a lot. Okay, Snow Run. Um, I will refrain from any dialogue about other stuff, but I think this is a, let's see, really expensive core. Miascarada, Palafin, Gouging Fire. Um, it is, God, it is really tough to justify giving him anything higher than a B plus, but this is solid. I can't lie. It's just like, man, where is your special breaker? It's not Armor Rouge. I promise you, it's not Armor Rouge. Yeah, dang. I really like this team because super scary, avoids burns. Probably could use a healing Wishmon that's not Clefairy, but overall, really solid team. Plays into his strengths well with some fatter stuff. I'll give it a B plus. Yeah, just hard to rate. Sorry.
yeah. So no, you're good. So with snow runs drafts, I typically don't like them this much. Now I understand that top three, trying to repeat the same top three he had, but get rid of Latios for Meow, which you could argue is even better. I'd agree with you there. However, what people forget with that team is late in the season, one of the best mons that he had for that playoff run was a Florigist that I traded him because I was blowing up my roster to get a bunch of stuff. Now, at least I made a decently fair trade with him for it. But yeah, that's what really set that team over the top. Then last season, he gained his momentum after a trade as well. So I think Snowrunt is going to have to look to make another trade with the coach late in the season for a mon that is probably more valuable for his team than it is for the coach that just wants to whatever they want to blow up the team, whatever it might be. So he's going to need to look at the trade market again if he wants to go on another great run, in my opinion, because I do think this team is lacking something that puts it over the top. But those top three are going to be horrifying in prep every single week.
Right. And it's not even just that. It's Belly Bolt is real. You can get Nile good pretty hard with a paper cut set, deep cut commentary for y'all folks that are listening at home. Rotom is a really solid back into the draft mon. I'm surprised that thing lasted as long as it did. That's an excellent pickup. And I want to make amends to Armor Rouge. I didn't mean what I said earlier. I think you're a really solid mon. Weak armor plus endure is really great. And then your Terra typings are also super solid. So you can do your best special Ogerpon Hearthflame imitation, and I won't be mad. And then also Tinkaton's just got a near and dear place to my heart. I'm gonna give it a B plus. I had that written down at the start of my roast session, so don't try to fact check me there. And I'm gonna give him an over under of 6.5 because he is absolutely cooking with this, as some of the angry folks in the chat are saying. Also, good speed. Mm, mm.
Yeah, his schedule's not too bad either. So like I think it's 12th. So it's not too bad. I didn't rank the team highly, but I never rank his drafts highly. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
All right. EM. I historically despise his drafts. I think he's got like a good eye for some things, and this is no different. Like this doesn't pass the smell test initially for me. Um, Hitmontop, Gun Tank are not my favorites, but And also really weird seismitoad Terra. Like, yes, it is okay, but at the same time, like you like that water ground typing. That's like the main reason you draft it for its like defensive profile. And if you're swift swimming, that's one thing. Like I could see like a rogue rain ultras hurricane thing if you're really like smoking the doobie all night. But other than that, like it's just okay. Um, some very like what I'd consider round two, three mons here, three of them in a row with DNC, Garchomp, Weavile. But together that actually looks pretty nice. You're keeping hazards off the field, ideally with DNC, putting them up for yourself. Um, Same thing with Garchomp, also much better in this 20-man format. And then Weavile is a good revenge killer with knockoff. Not don't need to say much there. I think Crown's a little out of place, but it does fulfill a nice role here as your steel type. And then same thing with Sinistcha. Like I saw a lot of hate in the chat after it was drafted and could be Terra, but at the same time, I think the grass ghost type is better than people think, um, especially in this format with heat proof. And I think it will perform well as a spin blocker, especially with those top two. Moltres underrated. Um, One of the best defensive mons in this format at 10 points. Dang. This might be my first high EM rating ever. I'm going to give it a B. I think
That
that's fair.
that is much higher than I had it. So I had this at 38th. It does not help that EM. It doesn't help that EM had a rough go around until the end of last season. Actually, has a easier schedule than I do this season. So congrats EM on that. With all that being said, this team, and I keep saying it, but feels like it would be one of the best teams in like Gen 7 draft. Just because that top three, the Seismitoad was more common than Hitmontop, more common than Skuntek, more common than the Alolan Eggy was like new toy syndrome back then. So that's what this team reminds me of, and it can be very good. However, power creep in recent gens, I think, is going to see this team struggle, and I don't think adding Iron Crown Moltres now with Boots and Sinistcha without Terra is going to be enough to push this team over the top. I also don't think I don't think he's taking the best advantage of having Terra either with the Terramons he chose. So yeah, I wish I liked it more. The top three is great, but I think they've been outclassed by recent Mons released, and seeing that pretty much every coach has at least one of those Mons that now outclasses them, this could be a struggle.
Yeah, I just read the chat again and he did say this. I don't want to sound cocky or overconfident, but I will let the results talk for themselves. I have a very clear idea of what I want this team to do. And for that I give it an F. That that's crazy talk.
Can we give it a Dreeby rank, please?
What would you like to rate it?
Just rate it a Dreeby. Just rate it a Dreeby.
D for Dreeby. Okay. Cool.
Yep, Dreeby.
I don't Okay. Last team in Zeus. I have the appetite to keep going if you'd like to. Um,
I'm cool.
okay. Um, he was messaging me. I'm not gonna leak anything verbatim, but he was like kind of questioning his draft and he just low-key stole Wellspring. That was odd. But let's see. What do you think about Cinderace and Mew? Hmm. I think this is a great team and he drafted well. Physical offense is overwhelming. He's got really solid speed stats all around. With even though Noivern's kind of mid and the defensive profile sucks, like you saw this with the side B game, he slapped him with Staraptor. Like it took a Porygon to everything it had, avoiding the knockoff, very defensively oriented, recover, and it was still doing like 55%. Like, come on. Terrastar Raptor is so dumb. Plus, Wellspring, one of the best physical breakers in the game. Cinderace can clean up nicely with that good speed stat. And this weird Mega Electros guy, let's take a look at him. 145, 135, decent defenses, 80 speed. Yeah, could run a cool set. Love it. Yeah, I got to give this a B for Bodo. How about that?
I'm fine with B. So this came in 26 for me, but that's mostly because the defense is lacking in every aspect. like there is no wall outside of Aegislash, and Aegislash is good, but come on, you need something. Uh, I guess Hat, can provide some support here, but I am extremely concerned that this team's not going to be able to take a hit. I am excited to see Mega Eel. I have no idea how it's going to be in draft. All I know is it was fun to use in ZA, but that means nothing here. Cinderace, Wellspring, great top two. The Nidoking support, not bad. Great Terramons, especially in Raptor, although we shall see how Raptor plays out because it was doing well, but I kind of wanted to see, I don't know, more from it in the first game. So we'll see. But I think it's going to be very good. Yeah, no, there's potential here. So I think B's fine. Bodo also doesn't have a difficult schedule for Zeus, so like there's options. And then this man has U-turn on pretty much every single mon, so good luck ever getting momentum.
Yeah, I I think you touched on it, but like this is a extremely bleak removal situation and hazard situation. So like the main part of most games, he's he's not doing super hot on. So let's
Actually,
yeah, like okay,
so I
Hatterene
guess you
exists.
can't be U-turn spamming if the opponent's got hazards and you got, oh boy.
And
Oof.
yeah, it's okay. B for Bodo. Good times. All right, Lay. Um, I was helping my friend Joe prep into this team this week, and I really like it. I think the Ninetales Gouging Fire combo is solid. Staraptor, I have my thoughts on that as a very good mon, despite what Buddy says. And the back half of the team past Blastoise is a little odd. Like I don't really love Arbalava Nantera. I think Frostmoth is bait. Um, I don't want to leak the set that we think Tuxtricity is going to use, but that thing is really cool. Would be a great Terra Captain if it was allowed. And Mudsdale is probably my favorite Terra Captain defensively. So yeah, really fun team here. Good removal, just because it has Blastoise, and you have some spot removal with Aerodactyl if you really need it. But Blastoise is probably like the top, one of the top five spinners in the game. I guess it's like one of the only five spinners in the game, but yeah, you get my point. Physical offense is excellent. Um, Special, not so much, but yeah, it's really overwhelming with gouging and Staraptor. That's a great combo. If you want to burn Staraptor, welcome to Gouging Fire. You need a lot of tools to take on them all on, and then Aurora Veil exists, so a lot of prep pressure. I'm gonna give it a B plus.
That's fair. I think offensively and defensively the team's really good. Speed is fine. Nothing but arrows, let's be real, arrows not coming every game, so now your fastest mod is 110 speed. So that could use a little improvement. I don't obviously Veil with gouging fire is going to be huge, right? You get gouging fire behind a Veil, you hit Dragon Dance, you win game. So that is going to be huge. I honestly think I may have underranked this team. Looking back at my PR rankings. But I don't know. There's like you said, after the Blastoise pick, I get confused about the direction of the team. I feel like yeah, the Terramons are fine, but underwhelming, especially. And I mentioned this a lot, but we allowed so many new things with Terra that I feel like a lot of coaches should have prioritized that a little more because I think we've made some mistakes with what mons we've allowed to Terra, but we shall see how it goes.
Oh yeah. I think Frostmoth is actually very underexplored. Nobody had it last season, so maybe it'll pop off. We'll see. All right, Dom. This is like the magnum opus for Hades. Yes, there are two ice types on my screen, but the fighting weakness is pretty much gone when you combine some of the other aspects here. Like most fighting types are physical, and what do they have? A Mega Skull villain. Um, Yeah, I'm really high on the synergies here. I think this might be the best team in Hades by a pretty
Well,
significant
you've done
margin.
it now. You've
Yeah.
done it now. Last time we said Dom had the best team in Hades, look what happened. Why? Why did you have to go and do it to him?
RDG dumb. Okay. I'm gonna give him a over under of 6, and let me hear your thoughts on it.
Okay, first of all, over under of 3 because I don't trust his luck to get him more than 3 wins. Sorry, Dom, it's not your skill, it's your luck. Uh, um, as for thoughts on team, I did rank this team highly. It was seventh on my list. Obviously, that top three all work very well together. Eternal Floette is also disgusting. Mega Scoville on any other team I would have liked more. And it's not I get what you're saying with it stops the fighting types, and that is great. But there's just that rock weakness that this team kind of had
Right, right.
across some of its top mons that now you don't have a grass type that can take those rock type hits. Right? Because Thundy doesn't want to deal with rocks. Bundle backs don't want to deal with a big rock type move. You
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and if you take a look at the removal, I hate to like harp on removal with every team, but it is particularly bad here. Yes, I hate bringing Kamala to games. I think Kamala's best set is Sleep Talk Last Resort when they expect you to bring Rapid Spin and they don't have a Ghost type, which is a very niche scenario, and it can do really well there. But yeah, over like this thing gets edge quaked real hard. Um, Not a good thing. But I mean, let's take it. Let's face it. Bundle backs Floetta. Actually, let's forget that guy. Bundle backs. Great team. This is gonna stomp some teams in Hades. I'm gonna give it a 6. Wait, is that a 5 or 6? A 6 on the over under. Oh shoot. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, and he can definitely like change up a type or two, and this. I'd rather have this slate of mons and make like one change than have like a worse set. Okay, this is like so this is batters. This is, let's see. It's a weird blend of whatever Peakley drafted. So you got the Tinglu Pecharunt combo that's tried and true. Hmm. This is good. Yes. Yeah, I think this might be like top to bottom the most complete team. Every mon's bringable. Yes, the Terra Hog will be Alakazam here, but I mean, don't be shocked by a stray Eviolite Rhydon with Rock Polish and God forbid a Terra Earthquake. Be super. The typings are a little deceptive because of the double psychic type, so you're seeing a lot of redundancy on the type chart. Really love the Arcanine Hisui pickup on the back half of the draft. It's like probably a top 10 wall breaker physically. So really solid draft here. Removals passable. I don't love that Mega Blastoise can't carry boots, and that makes it inferior to its regular cousin. But also, imagine trying to stack hazards in front of Valiant, a boosted Kartana, Alakazam, or heck, an Arcanine. So, going to give it an A. I don't know if this person can play well, so I'm going to default and give him a 3.5 just to piss off the fans. Any? Okay, yeah, I think 3.5. If this person proves me wrong, well, good job. Okay, another NPC here. I just kidding. I don't know who this one is. It's Ryu. Okay, Ryu. I don't know. We have pretty cool core. That Great Tusk Zard Y was used by Jonas last season, and then a round 3 Aura, really strong. Um, Again, this is another top to bottom team that can be brought every week. I really like the secondary captain Terra Judagon, uh, Mold Breaker. Don't know if that's going to be useful, but Sheer Force, look out for that. Um, Especially with Porygon 2 as your Trick Room setter. This could be a really interesting team. Um, very few weaknesses. I guess Ice pops out there on the chart. Um, but you do have Empoleon, so that's good. Speed tiers are very good. Zeraora and Ezelf kind of have some like crossover function there as speedsters. Um, yeah, I think this is really impressive, but anything in particular holding it back? Oh yeah, wet paper bag because you don't really always want to be defensive with Tusk. B minus, and then I'll give him a over under of 3.5. Yeah, I'm a huge Zard Y guy. Um, you can like not bring it, and the prep pressure's still there with assault vests and your dragons. So just think about okay, if I don't have a lead that can just immediately pressure it with like a rock move, am I going to lose them on? So yeah, really like this team. This seems like something I would pilot because yeah, fuck defense. Okay. Another boring Tapu Koko team. I think I've seen a million of these. Like, who is this? Fitch. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I'm getting some like 616 flashbacks here in a bad way with Chandelure Salamence, and I think Mega Aggron was on that team too. I don't. No, what happened? Oh, oh, this was the flame charge bullshit. Okay, okay. Yeah, this team makes me feel like I'm like losing a brain cell. Not that it's bad. This is solid, right? We have really strong special physical options, but like defensively, it's just so lackluster. You don't really have any recovery. So, okay, yes, Mega Aggron can take a hit. What about spikes? It can't hold boots. Your recovery is Hitmonlee. I have the very poor experience of this Coco Hitmonlee team and a poor removal. Otherwise, it sucks. Um, I think you put spikes up on this guy. And wait, this actually happened. This actually happened. Now that I think I'm remembering this, I was at work, so forgive me. But like both sides were hazard stacking the whole time, and they're like, "Wait, we didn't bring removal. Fuck." So, um, I don't want to be biased, but like Terralist, Star Raptor, no real abusers besides Hitmonlee, who also isn't Terra'd. Iron Leaves, okay. This is gonna get a D for don't draft it ever again. Right. Yeah, it's still scary. Like, okay, Salamence gets a random Dragon Dance, or like somebody throws up some screens and it's game over. But like, I'm just not super inspired by what I saw. Okay, moving on. Toby Mushroom. Okay, I guess this is the other team. The brothers are here. Uh, okay, this is 616 season 3 with the top three. Um, odd Terra captains, like just verboten, and then yeah, he got a round 7 chomp. Okay. Um, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, this is pretty good. Yes, this is good. You got fake removal with Fortress, although Terra might help with that a little bit. Good hazard stacking. This is the correct terrain abuse where it's not the primary function of the team, but it's good. I think Walrein is a okay. It's okay. Amoongus is actually a really good Terra captain defensively. Regenerate is going to be annoying, but you know your main core there of Sneasler, Tapu Lele, Samurott, and Garchomp. Also odd little Mega Chandelure. It's solid. Yeah, it's just like a very strange draft when you look at it like chronologically, but if you swapped and also very good color palettes like pink to pink blue, blue pink, pink pink, blue pink, blue pink, pink. Okay, this guy's cooking. I'm gonna give it a B plus, but Gordon, tell me your thoughts before I put that in stone. Okay, okay, okay. I'm going to give it a over under of 3. And there's probably not the math is probably not mathing. I think this is really elite in terms of like boom, 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 and then you can mix and match the other crappers, but yeah, whatever. We'll get over it. This guy, Newt. Hmm. Yeah, kind of fits. This is pretty good. This is really good. Yeah, okay. I think Greninja kind of farms um everybody. It's one of the better values for speed, power once you get that battle bond boost. Um, it is a little passive without that. It's like that's why everybody goes Protean. Um, like, yeah, you kind of give your set away half the time. You don't have much room for creativity without Terra. Um, I'd much prefer to see this not be a round one choice universally here, but it is really good in this format with 20 Mons, blah, 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 rant over. Iron Tread's also a great pick. Round three Wheezing, kind of terrible, but I think it blends really nicely with this Haxorus with a Misty Surge. Terra Haxorus with Terra Dragon Choice Band has some pretty absurd calcs and makes steel types look like aluminum types. Good joke. Um, Raikou fifth round is really shit. Um, I'm not just saying that because he got one hit KO'd last night, but it is bad. Um, we've seen it time and time again. This guy needs Terra, and I think he'd perform okay, but we're not ready for that conversation yet. But Skeletor's Mega Venusaur is a great defensive combination. And with Raikou, then you're actually looking at a flying resist. So maybe he's cooking with gas. I'm gonna give this an A. Nah, I give it a B plus. I like this team a lot. Good speed. Yeah. The assault vest I'm placing on my Hariyama. Oh yeah. Yeah, so Sash Alakazam kind of yeah stunts on this guy. Um, man, I really want to give it a B plus though. I love what he built here, but yeah, you're right. It's not fast enough. You're relying on Greninja to revenge. You're not always going to want to run those speed EVs on Iron Treads. Okay, B's fine. An over under of 3.5. What do you think? Oh wow. Yeah, yeah. This does need a lot of assault vest to carry him through. I will say, it is really balanced, like typing wise. Like yes, the special defense might not be like substantial, but I see like the vision like with the type chart. I think it looks really nice, minus the ground weakness, which is really problematic. All right, moving on to the goat. Really good top two. Yeah, I think not much else needs to be said. It seems like one of the better drafts for top eight. Then it kind of falls off a little bit, but each of these crappers has like some utility. But three 1 point mons is a little rough, not gonna lie. I think making the most out of your 15 Terra points with Salazzle Mousehold is really good. You add that crucial normal typing with Mousehold to avoid the absolute ramming you would get with just Spectrier and Grimmsnarl. And of course, Grimmsnarl packs a dual screen mode parting shot to help you get your Spectrier in a little bit easier. A lot of pivoting, especially between Lando, Rotom Watch, Me, and Shao. Mega Scarm adds a different mode. Um, there's a lot of ground, anti-ground here for no real payoff, but I think this is an elite team. It's a little linear, but like you have to prep a certain way um, to prevent the Spectre sweep, and then what's stopping you from a nasty plot? Lando T, Swords Dance, Normal Gem Explosion, lots of different modes here. So I'm gonna give Amish an A for Amish, and we'll put his over under at a 4.5. Oh, that's fair enough. I mean, Rotom Wash and Lando, like I think that plus Skarmory is a good combo. But like you said, there's not a lot of recovery going on besides Roost from Skarm. Um, it's challenging. I'll give you I'll lower this to a B minus. Although I did help draft this team. It is I think going to get a lot of help from the Terra captains like Salazzle and Mousehold are really strong in conjunction with Spectrier. So we'll see. Okay, Zyron. Oh, this is really good. Hmm. Okay. He's got the 8-mon draft like all stars with Corviknight, Clodsire, and Cyclizar. I think it's not everybody's cup of tea, but people are going to really struggle to break this in Hades, especially if this person has somewhat like any experience. Arbok's a weird choice at the bottom end, but I get it's a 1 point mon. Mega Frostlass. I don't love that choice here because like your screens aren't really doing a lot. You don't have a lot of setup potential besides like Dragon Dance, Cyclizar. Um, Terradarm, really dumb. That's a B for me, and then over under is a 5. I think this is really good, but we'll see how he pilots it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I downgrade it to a B minus, and then the over under 5. I think this is really good. Like if this person's played before, they can farm a few wins. I'd say replace Mega Frostlass with any other Mega in the 15 to 17 point range, and you probably have a much better team. Like I don't know. Yeah, maybe Mega Zardex. I don't know. Just kidding. We'll pivot from that. We got Joe's team. Playing against this, I think it's really solid. The obviously like I'm playing with Lay's team, and Lay's team is really dumb. It's really good. Um, Speed tiers are solid. The They need to be a little more real between Entei and Tornadus. Like I think that Archeops and Miss Magius both have their place, but you were correct earlier in saying that like yes, Miss Magius doesn't really get used correctly or used a lot, and I think a lot of that has to do with that's not a very good mon. Um, it is like a lot of very good properties on paper. Ghost type levitate. Yes, correct. And 105, 105, 105 is not cutting it like it was in Gen 4. Um, I'd rather see a Trick Room setter on this team to enable Mega Mawile. I think that is the mode that needs to be gone for, and what that means for Miss Magius or Archeops, I don't know. But yeah, it's like I think he's abusing probably one of the best Terramons available in Entei. That extreme speed band is no joke, and everybody has to think twice about that. Obviously, Torn and Terrapagos, the two T brothers, super good, and the type chart looks great. You are correct in your assessment for special defense being a little lackluster. Um, I didn't abuse that in my mocks, but it is there. and a few more things, but I don't want to just give away like what I can do to this team. It can do a lot of stuff to you as well. So for that, I'm going to give it a B plus in real ratings. Um, I think it's solid. I'll give him a 5.5. Yeah, I understand that. Um, yeah, moving on to Stallion's team. This is some nasty work. I love it. Let's see. Megalop top mon right now with its sets that's not stopped by Tapu Lele Psychic. Roaring Moon is a great second fast mon. Holds booster really well. Really big fan of the breaking sets with knockoff. This thing is super valuable with a scarf in hand. You're not going to sweep a lot of teams these days because Dark and Dragon's not like super good because of the fairy um, paradigm. But I think like just having it plus a lone mole is really powerful with a knock, flip, and then you have decent hazard game with Sue and Quillfish and the aforementioned. I didn't mention it yet. Landorus and Tinkaton. Lucario is a little awkward here. Just another fighting type. I think that's misuse of points. I could see it being helpful, but that adds 3 physical mons. I guess you could go special because it does technically have a higher special stat. But Lando Eye is really the star there as the fourth mon, I'd say. Rotom Fan's an excellent Terra Captain, and Crobat's some actual useful speed with a flying type. So I really like the defensive profile of this team. I'm going to give it A. Yeah, no, that's all fair. It seems like he just went for best mon on board at times. And looking at the defensive profile again, as much as I like Allo, as much as I think Tinkaton is solid, and yeah, I'm gonna downgrade this to a B minus. The offense is spectacular, and I think they'll win some games just on top three alone. But I can't give it much more. You said he's not super experienced. I'm gonna say 4.5. I think draft is very transferable from Smogon. Just with prep time, people can get pretty creative. So Hestia, hmm, I don't like it, but yeah, I don't like it. I think let's see. Why do not I not like this? It's pretty strong. It's got good hazard removal, minus Donphan being crap. Yeah, this is good. Um, Firewater Grass, Steel Dragon Fairy, Grounded Poison by Technicality, Wild Card Removal, plus a really Espeon is an elite Terra Captain. Good wild card with Golem. He's even got some interesting speed control options with Tailwind, Mega Caesar, Charge a Bug as a wild card, Tailwind, Iron Juggless. Okay, and then probably the best one on the format. Yeah, I feel comfortable giving this one an A, even though I don't like it. Right. Yeah, agreed. And I think the speed tiers could be better, but when you have the options that we mentioned plus some strong priority options, I think there's obviously Mega Caesar's Bullet Punch, but sleeper picks like Sucker Punch from Dragapult, the cheeky Aqua Jet from Primarina, Ice Shard from Donphan. You get a little creative there. There's like the Tailwind stuff, and I don't think you're going to bring Jugulus every game, but it is there as your 108 option. And then, the bulky mons can take a hit and dish it back. It's not a huge deal. The main point of contention is Dragapult. I don't think we have a Healing Wish mon. Do we have a Healing Wish mon? Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think it could definitely use a Healing Wish mon for Mega Caesar and Dragapult. Burn would really hurt this team. Of course, Burn into Espeon. Uh, it's a little risky. All right, move it. What do you think for the over under? I don't see Hestia as a super strong battler, but I think over under 5 is like good benchmark. Mm, heard that. Okay. Bookwu has a disgusting team. Okay, round 9 Ogrepon Wellspring. You've got Terra Colossal, excellent Terramon in the format with a premier dark type slash ground of poison Muckalola. And then, yeah, this is a nasty little core with Feeny protecting Ape. Um, wow. Only thing is Feeny's negative synergy with Bolt's Dracos, but we can get past that. Let's see. Speed wise, it's pretty fast. I might have to shut stream off earlier. Um, Gordon, you got it from here? All right, yeah. Let's see. All right. All right. We're back. I don't know where we left off. Man, I must have been on some methamphetamine. I don't really okay. Check two, check two, check two. All right. Yeah, we're back. So yeah, I got a little interrupted last night with something very important, but that's good. Happy to be back here talking some mons with the folks. I think I was being a little too nice at the end of last night. A lot of these teams have some very serious flaws. For instance, this one has no ghost resist, a real one anyways. Iron Jugulus is kind of shit. So just gonna get dunked on by um, besides maybe an assault vest here or there, just random shadow balls just gonna eat this thing's lunch. I think Blacephalon would be this thing's worst nightmare. Um, yeah, I'm gonna bump that over under to a 4, and I'm gonna give this a B. B. Okay. Um, Not that it's bad. I just don't like it. It is, you know, some good mods in here, but again, recovery can be a bit limited, and Diamond Fan's not a great spinner. Okay. Book Woo. Did we talk about this? I don't know. Yeah, this is a ridiculous team. Like everything can be brought, including Ariados as a webs mon. I think Dugon's a bit troll, but yeah, I'm a big fan of everything. Three water types kind of shit, but these four are solid. Actually, Annihilate's been underperforming for a lot of people, but um, really solid mons. I think Shaman's probably the best Terra captain, or maybe top five. It's really solid. Um, People just need to learn how to use it a little bit better, but that's the right idea with these types. Really solid. Colossal, great spinner. The removal is very much so lacking with only these two as the options, so I can only give this a B minus. And I might go ahead and readjust some of these because I was being very generous. That's good. Yeah. But I think someone mentioned it today. Boku's been struggling pretty hard, so give us over under at a 2. Woof. Eh, 3. Alfrex Froststaff. This is a very strange team. Ended up getting a round 9 Caesar. Melodic is kind of fake, but yeah, I think this is okay. Decent speed tiers, although Kilowattrel's like just the forever trollmon, especially without Terra. I think it's uncompetitive, unlike what its ability says. Um, Looks like okay offense on the surface, but like a lot of these mons can't really hold choice items that well, which is my metric for what makes a really solid wall breaker. Like forcing mons to just die on switch. So it's going to be really skill reliant. And while Volturn is there and prevalent, um, it's just okay. I think I can't give this any higher than a C. Um, yeah, this gets edge quicked really hard. Water, I mean, water is just not the type you want to have a red on the type chart. I know this is like kind of troll with some of these mons, but these two can't tear. You're gonna probably bring them every game. Yeah, your hazard removal's pretty strong, but okay, Zarude and Melodic, I don't think those are solid mons. So this is C. Over under at 3.5. 4. Yeah, sure. Wasteca. Man, the speed's really, really bad. Mega Electros is okay, but doesn't really have like the bulk to survive long term, and then you don't have any wish passing. Um, Goldingo Gliscor is a really solid combo. Um, Spreading hazards plus the spin blocking. I think Cinderace is a top tier mon in draft given the value. It's multiple sets and can boost. Solid. Um, yeah, this looks really hard to pilot effectively. You basically just have to play well, and there's not a lot of great wall breaking. Um, it's especially apparent that Gliscor is somewhat choice locked, not choice locked, or blocked. Goldingo is probably going to want some more defensive items, but I guess I don't know. Leo showed choice specs it can work. I don't know. This just looks really hard to pilot. A bit awkward on the team sheet, but you know, also really solid at the same time. The two ground weaknesses are actually covered up pretty well here by Electros and Gliscor, so I'm gonna give this a C plus for the C in Waysky. My bias towards that dude is apparent. Put the over under at a 4 because I think pick up some pretty easy wins in Hades. Just stalling people out with Gliscors should be pretty fun. Is there a Volt turn angle? Somewhat. Glaceon is a really good Terra captain as well, so we'll see where this goes. Also, Komodo can just win a game. That's like a hidden gem there. All right, Andre. Speed's pretty fake. Actually, really fake. Removal's good. Hazards are very good with the Mega Glamora. Mortal Spin is somewhat real. I never liked Togekiss. I don't think it's really good at all, but it just keeps getting drafted. Like this is the most I've ever seen Togekiss used. So I guess there's something. It's got Encore, a couple boosting moves. It's not bad. Just not my cup of tea. I think flying is really poor secondary typing for Fairy. Um, just adds weaknesses that don't need to be there. Melmetal, Mega Glamora, solid combo. I see where the flying type needs to come in, but this is kind of earthquake fodder to a point. That's good though. Like Melmetal's a top mon in the game, especially at that point value 16 solid, allowed him to get some more decent mons in the back. This ground type being your pal sand is not sustainable. It's really bad. Um, so Jolteon might be carrying that Terra load a lot for the ground type. Um, Man, I really do like that Glamora slot though. I think it's going to be a pretty potent mon. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like the speed is quite fake, like I said, but I don't know. Just beats you to death too. Adaptability is a super awesome ability for Glamora. You get power gem boosted up by 1.3, so that kind of mitigates the lack of immediate power. And then Sludge Wave is going to be a bop, so B minus. And I don't think this player is like exceptional based on what we've seen. They were okay. I'm gonna give them a 3.5. If I can type. All right, Fufu. Um, yeah, I really like this team. Everyone's bringable. Hidden gem. So this is like the Gen 4 All Stars right here, plus a Curum and this newly unleashed Terra monster. Articuno Galar is also surprisingly really solid. He's got a lot of holes defensively. Like this could be a really bad day to. Well, no, I think a lot of these mons work really well together. Actually, it is a little thin. Just each mon has its obvious roles, and wall breaking is somewhat mediocre. Obviously, you have Curum, but other than that, like whatever. Some pretty fake special attack here with these two. I mean, you can bring choice specs, and I think that's solid, but nothing exceptional. So it's gonna bring in Curum. I'm gonna play some games with Swampert, Tentacruel, Infernape doing some Volt Turn stuff. Belly Bolt's a real mon. So I'm gonna give this a B plus. Really like this Fufu. It's a good team. Not as strong as I'd like it to be, but there's a lot of boosting options here, and you do have like one of the scariest wall breakers. It's gonna be tough for Hades to get past this. Speed sucks. Speed sucks. I have rules there. Over under. It's weird. I'm gonna give it a 4. Yeah, the speed is atrocious. Yes, Ape can hold that scarf. I think it's switcheroo, but whatever. This Obstagoon's deceptively really strong, so that's what's enabling it. Gordon spoke really highly of this Amelie Mule team. I see why. It's really good. This is one of the best Hades has to offer. Removal could be a bit better, but could be much better actually. It's like the one thing holding this team back. It's really fast and strong. Sure, my favorite things. I think forcing Mew to carry defog because I don't see Dripling coming a lot is poor form. So if there is like another spinner on the board that's worth some value, you could shed um, one of your redundant types. Zygarde Dog is a top tier Terramon, so it makes sense why you have some lesser mons in the back half. Um, some of these are fake red boxes, so I won't put too much stock into that. Speed tiers are great, like I said. Iron Hands is great. Iron Hands Meow is really good. That's covering a lot of types there, especially a Protean. And then you have your dog, Dragon Dancing up. Thousand Arrows just nullifies a lot of types. Not a big Heat Train guy. I think if that's your steel, you're struggling quite a bit. You're going to have to cover some ground there, and you don't have a really good earthquake resist. Since I think Araquanid is not super durable long term, despite its good defenses. It's typically best as a lead. And if you're making a Hulk boost to come into attacks, it's just easily exploitable. Um, you might say, well, it does have those really strong liquidations, blah blah blah, and I would agree there. But you know, it's pretty one dimensional, and you can play around it if you bring the right team. I would assume this thing comes a lot. Like you're really only prepping for one, two, three, four, five, six, seven mons. So yeah, I mean, at your own peril, fear the ice cube. But this is a good team. Gordon's right, and I'm gonna just go move past my rule for removal. I want to assume that he carries boots. She carries boots a lot. Um, she's gonna carry boots a lot, so therefore it's probably fine. If anybody drops a rapid spinner, go ahead and pick it up. But this is good. Put over under at a 5.5. Nah, just 5. Haven't been super high on everybody lately. Um, who's this? Mirko. Hmm. It's a really strange team, but it's good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I see it. Okay. Hazard game looks really good. Um, actually has pretty competent removal. Even though I normally consider a few of these mons pretty fake for removal, I think in Harmony they exist. In this case, they're just like, okay, I could see default Zapdos, I could see um, Rapid Spin on the Toad Scroll, or heck, even the Hitmonchan. No, no, don't bring that. But yeah, that's good enough. I think without the typing, Toad Scroll is actually pretty good. So good selection there. Inteleon, Loki really deadly as a Terra Captain. I think that's a excellent choice. Um, Fagrigus is so good. That's like one of my favorite mons, and I think it parlays really well with this hazard heavy team. So uh, Kaffa, really solid mon. And then yeah, I like this. It's good enough. Haven't seen them play yet, but the type chart looks pretty good. This thing's a demon. B over under at a 4. Eh, over under at a 6. How about that? You get some faith for some reason. A pretty primer. This team's dirty. Yeah. Conch Elder, enough said. Bulu is fake, but it might fit here pretty well. Bulu plus Conch Elder, little healing action, not bad. And then Bulu plus Mega Dragalge, little Earthquake negation, not bad. So there's some pretty obvious synergy going on here. The Registeel Celesteela combo is sick. Um, Plus, I like the speed tiers. Probably knows how to build. Removal's really good. Starmie's a top tier spinner. Little Zoroark Mind Games. I'm gonna give it an A. Solid A. Over under because it's primer. I'm gonna put it at a 6.5. Yeah. Let me go review everything. Make sure it's man, we're getting smoked already. He's got one game down, so just 3 more to go, and I'm wrong. You can have a point back for that win. I think that's okay. That's a little generous, but it's okay. He's on Washed Watch. Unfortunately, I think he lost today to EM. No, I'm not sure who that was, but yeah, tough stuff on behalf of Cam. Hopefully, he can bounce back. I don't think it was that bad at all. So just little yips in there. It's all right. Sometimes you face an opponent that you're not ready for. We're pretty harsh here, but we'll see. I'm excited to see this matchup. Who is it? Lindsay versus Amish. Oh wow, Arbala's gonna have to be playing overtime to stop that horse. Hmm. Weird grade. Putting a lot of pressure on Leo. D12. Side B. A. I think I jinxed him there. Yeah. Okay. I'll relent on that as a B. B minus. Oh yeah, the glaze is incredible there. Man, I might have been a bit generous. It's now we'll keep it. Man, I really crapped on this team. It just beat the brakes off of somebody today. Yep, that's the game. I'm gonna upgrade that to a 4. A little predictive programming there. Still think it's a C plus though. See how the rest of the season plays out. Big expectations for Connect, although we did kind of just talk ourselves into these mods being fake. Really like his team. Man, I must have been on some bullshit last night. Man, huge hater on the EM as always. Got 616 with the yips. And Bodo with the weird team. This is terrible, but it works. Fear a helmet though. They hate to see a helmet coming. This is nasty. Man, I'm gambling. I'm like just putting all my cards in this one thing. I love it. Let it ride. Start getting real generous around here. I feel like I need more C's. That's objectively really good. Top three. What am I doing? Eh, let it ride. C, C plus. Okay. I think this is fair. All right. Good times. Couldn't link up for this, but yeah, let it rock.